plenty of Blazers content to talk about as we get you ready for the game tonight. Portland taking on the 4-5 Los Angeles Lakers. Chance to get back into the win column after a very, very tough game last time out against the Sacramento Kings, a 121-118 loss for your Portland Trailblazers. Take a look at that game. That was one of those games, let me tell you. Everything was looking good. Kings got the win, yes, but Jeremy Grant was firing on all cylinders. He had the 38 points to lead the way. And then, of course, you can't talk about that game without talking about Skylar Mace. Came off the bench 37 minutes, 18 points. Now, he did take a late three, looking to ice the game, win the game for the Blazers. And there's question marks about decision making all the way around. But overall, when you have injuries to Ant and you have injuries to Scoot, and Shade Sharp fouled out in this one after 40 minutes, and you need a little bit of that guard depth, it's nice to have Skylar Mays around. And you know what, fans? The Blazers agree as they locked him up for the remainder of the season. Remember, he was on a two-way contract. They converted that to a standard NBA deal. So now he doesn't have to worry about the up and down, bounce back and forth between the G League and the big guys, the home squad, right? The mothership, if it were. Now he just gets the comfort of knowing he's just going to be there with the Blazers all season long, and they need it. And he's been playing very, very well for the Blazers. He's played in 7 games this season. He's averaging 6.1 points, 2.7 assists, and just under a steal in 14 minutes per game. But you got to remember, this guy signed to a 10-day contract last season, played well in those minutes as well. I think a lot of Blazer fans fell in love with him, right? Absolutely, they fell in love with him. And now he's playing well again for a team that needs it. And we'll talk about it all day long as we break this game down, get you ready for the Lakers tonight. But it's just nice to see. You need bodies sometimes. Absolutely, you do. We got comments in the YouTube section already commenting on football. So Michael Shacker on the other end, plug your ears. But Mika comments, Niners, multiple exclamation points. Yes, I agree. All right, Michael Shacker, you can unplug your ears now. That's like the moment right there. I'm going to let you know. But yes, good on them. Football Sunday. But it's also basketball Sunday, okay, guys? And we got to talk about the Blazers. That's what we're here for. And we're going to have plenty of fun doing it. Blazers also signed another player to a two-way contract. We'll talk about that in a little bit. There's been some bounce up back and forth between the G League for some of the players on the roster right now. We'll hear from Chauncey Billups here as well. But really, let's just talk about the Blazers before we get to the Lakers situation tonight. Again, going down at Staples Center here in just a little bit. Let's talk about the current situation of the Blazers, how they're looking. And you know what? Yes, they lost last Sunday to the Grizzlies, 112-100. Then they lost to the Kings, as I already told you, 121 to 118. But this point right now, this is what you want from the Blazers, is it not? Because yes, they are taking their lumps. Yes, they're dealing with injuries. Yes, they just took back-to-back losses, but you cannot watch this team and say that they are not playing a fun brand of basketball, right? F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me, right? N is for anywhere and anytime at all down here in Rip City. I think that's how the song that SpongeBob sang went. But they're having fun. And I've talked to so many people. Granted, our YouTube chats after the game get a little hairy. Some of our friends of the show don't like losing in any situation, right? Speaking of YouTube, go on there right now, youtube.com, Rip City Radio. You can watch me live right now, sporting the nice, what is this, like a aqua teal Maui shirt in support of the state of Hawaii. Gotta love that place. All right. Catch us on the YouTubes. I'll tweet out a link here during the first commercial break. But again, some people upset that, oh, okay, they're losing and this team's terrible and blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you, a majority of the Blazer fans that I've talked to, man, that was a fun game, wasn't it? And it was. Yes, they lost, but it was a fun game. And then you have the other brand that says, hey, that's the best of both worlds. The team looked great. I enjoyed watching them, and they got the L. Improved our lottery odds. I don't care what group you're in, but, man, they're having fun. And we're having fun watching them. And that's about all you can hope for right? Because there's been negatives already. The negatives are Robert Williams out for the year, knee surgery. Scoot Henderson out for a few more weeks. We'll get to that in a little bit when we talk about what's the Scoot. Anthony Simons still dealing with the ligament injury in the thumb. The Blazers, the baby Blazers as they were, are already injury plagued. And that could be a recipe for just everything falling apart and you not liking a thing. But no, right now it's just a fun brand of basketball. People are loving what they're seeing from Shaden Sharp. Jeremy Grant's looking great. Skylar Mays has been wonderful. A breath of fresh air. People love him. Don't get me started on Tumani Kamara, right? Everybody has fallen in love with the guy that they call, the next Scottie Pippen. It's all in the armband, right? And I love that because there's still plenty to be happy about. And speaking of the YouTube chat, as Travi comments, love the team. It's fun to watch. I like the energy. It feels different this season, and it does. The energy is there because here's the thing that makes this enjoyable within the moment, at least for me, right? And if you have a different opinion, jump on YouTube, chime in the chat. I'll talk about it there. Or do what you guys know how to do. Pick up that phone, 503-248-0620. We'll try to get you on. But the thing is, for the last few seasons, with the we're gonna fire. Think about this. This is just over the last 2 years, guys. We're going to fire the head coach that's been here for nearly a decade. We're going to part ways with CJ McCollum. We're going to wave goodbye to Robert Covington and Norman Powell. We're going to go from playoff hopeful, thinking we're a contender to, yeah, we're tanking. Everyone sit, okay? And then we're going to do this again, and we're going to come into the season, and we're going to think we're going to win, but then injuries happen, and we're going to tank again. And then Damian Lillard asks out over the summer. You lose him. You lose Yusuf Nurkic. The only person remaining on this roster from that 2019 Western Conference Finals run is Anthony Simons. But for the last few seasons, because everything was tug this way, pull that way, it was just this like little black cloud over the team, right? It's like, where are we going? This black cloud is constantly following us. Rudderless ship in rough seas. But for the first time, there's a break in those clouds. You see the light, the ocean's flat. You're like, okay, it's smooth sailing. We have a direction. Everything's working. And because of that, I think it makes it a little bit more enjoyable within the moment, right? Because there isn't this constant worry about what's going to happen with Dame or others or what's going to happen with coach or this and that. It's like, okay, we got the young guys. Now it's about development, development, development. And I can honestly say, I feel like I'm seeing it. Right? The team is going to take the word of the year for me is going to be lumps, right? The team's going to take their lumps. They're going to take their bumps. They're going to have games where they get beat up. But it's all part of the process. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I feel like the Blazers have an identity. Granted, offensively has been a struggle, but defensively, they're playing well for the first time in some time. Then maybe that will level out, but you know what this team is going to do every single night right now. They're going to play hard on the defensive end. They're going to bring the energy, and they're going to make the game fun to watch. And that's nice. That's absolutely nice. Because consider the fact that you're playing guys almost 40 minutes a night, guys like Skylar Mays, right? Moses Brown, who's in his second stint with the Blazers, had 5 minutes the other night, and he's going to probably get a lot more as this continues to go on with Robert Williams out. Tumani Kamara off the bench, 25. Jabari Walker. Chris Murray got his 9 minutes against the Kings, got a chance to play against his brother before being sent back down to the G League. And I'm already seeing some comments in the YouTube chat about the G League and some of its players, and we will talk about that before the show's done. Shout out to Duop Reith, who had a phenomenal game for the Rip City Remix in their inaugural game. But little things like that make it fun for me. And judging by the fans I've talked to, it's making it fun for you too, right? So losses are going to happen, but wins are going to happen too. What do you have this team pegged at? Chime off in the YouTube chat. Call us, 248-0620. I know Chad has them at like a 28-30 win team. I put them at the beginning of the year. I put them at what I thought their ceiling is, which is about 33. Of course, everyone likes to tell you, "Oh, that's just crazy to think they could win that many games." Like, what do you mean that many? Like 33 is not a lot. You're not a playoff team at that point. You're struggling. I think what 4 teams in the league last year won less than 30 games. So we'll see where that all stands out. But it doesn't matter wins and losses because right now this season's not about that. It's about building this team for the route forward and where they want to go. And if that is with Shaden Sharp right now and Skylar Mays, that's what it's going to be. So imagine how fun this thing's going to be when our friend Scoot Henderson shows back up and our guy Anthony Simons shows back up. When they're healthy, doesn't necessarily mean they're a playoff team, but as long as they continue to build the identity and the brand that they want to play with, I think things will be all right. All right. Now tonight, let's look at this real quick. Blazers taking on the Lakers. They are 4-5. The Lakers, they are. The Blazers 3-5. I mean, think about it this way. If the Blazers win tonight, they'll have as many wins as the Lakers. They'll be 4-5. The Lakers will be 4-6. It's still a pretty tight race in that bottom half. Not saying these Blazers are a playoff team, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying some teams are struggling out of the gate. The Suns just 4-5. That's going to fix itself, right? The Lakers 4-5, and LeBron, I believe, not playing tonight. We'll get health updates here in just a little bit. The Clippers, they are 3-6, and even despite James Harden, have lost 5 in a row. Quote from Ty Lue today saying they're going to try to stagger their lineup as much as possible because, we're going to try to get Russ Westbrook on the floor at times that Harden isn't on the floor. Like, okay. So what you're saying is we went out and made a big trade for a guy who is not compatible with the current roster that we're rolling out there every night. Have fun with that one. Have fun with that one. It's a crazy little time to be an NBA fan. Of course, the Nuggets continue to run roughshod over everyone. They're sitting at 8-1. The Sixers, they said, "Hey James, you can go play in LA. We're going to be fine." They're 7-1 to start the season. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're 5-4. They're in 8th in the East. That's okay though. We're only an eighth of the way through this season. Still plenty of basketball left. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Blazers Game Day. You can follow me on X. That feels weird. I'm still going to call it Twitter until my brain doesn't know otherwise. At Chris J. Burkhardt, ask me any questions you want over there and continue the Blazer conversation all night long. Of course, we're live on YouTube right now, so go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. We'll pop right up. Make sure you subscribe, and you'll get the notifications every single time we do go live. And it's not just game day, friends. Game day's live streaming, fifth quarter's live streaming. Of course, Courtside Monday with myself is streaming, and Rip City Mornings with Justin Myers, Rip City Drive with Chad and Dwight. Everything streaming, so have fun there. I'll continue the conversation with you guys here in this little chat. I'll chat back to you. But until then, for you radio listeners, we'll be back in just a minute right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here, filling in for Chad doing today. You'll hear Chad following me on the Blazers pregame show. We're going to tag team this bad boy throughout the night and have a little fun. And I find it interesting. Before we get into talking about Scoot for a second, we did have one of our commenters in the YouTube chat. It was Devin Fritz talking about how the Seahawks game ended, and now they can focus on the rest of the day. And I feel that because that's usually how I am when the Ducks or something are playing. Right? I mean, if the Ducks are playing, my focus is all on Duck basketball, and I don't know what to do with myself. So I feel you. I feel you. I'm glad that you can focus now for the rest of the day. Now, when it comes to Scoot Henderson, we're not going to hear from him. We don't have any audio today, but we are going to give a little Scoot Henderson update because there has been one, and that is it's a short one, but it might not be a great one for Blazer fans, and that is that the team announced yesterday afternoon that an MRI was conducted on Scoot Henderson, and it revealed bone bruising in addition to the right ankle sprain. Return to play timeline of an additional 2 to 3 weeks will be taken for further resolution of the bruising. Now, this is a good and bad news type of thing, right? So the good news is it's just bone bruising. All right. Now, anyone who has had a bone bruise, most of us, if we've had them, it's likely, like heel bruising. I've had that one before. I've had bruised ribs, a couple other that I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm sure a lot of people have too. The good part about bone bruising is that it's in the long run, it's a pain management thing, right? Like, I mean, bruised ribs when I had those were awful. Like breathing was a chore, and like I had bronchitis at the time as well. So if I coughed with bruised ribs, I just wanted to curl into a ball. So with the ankle bruising, that comes into play as well, right? It's that pain management. Maybe the swelling goes down, the ankle itself, the ligaments that were injured in the sprain heal up just fine, but you got to get over just that extra pain of the bruise. But it's not a long term type thing. Like the bone bruise goes away fairly quickly. After that, smooth sailing, and you don't have to worry about it. That's the good news. The bad news is that you're going to miss Scoot for another 2 to 3 weeks, and let's see. I'm just looking at comments while I'm trying to chat at the same time. Got sidetracked. But you only have him out for another 2 to 3 weeks. Then you reevaluate. You see where you're going, and that hurts because you don't have that maturation process. You don't have him out there taking his, like I said, word of the season lumps and learning the game that he needs to learn. But this is also almost like a best case scenario type thing, right? If you get hurt, you get the bruising in there, you heal up, you get back going. You don't have like the unfortunate news that we heard with Robert Williams, like the fact that he is going to miss the rest of the season because he has to have knee surgery. And that's a huge blow to the Blazers. I mean, he was part of the haul that the team got back for Drew Holiday. So they needed him to stay healthy so they could decide whether he was going to be part of their future or part of a trade package by the trade deadline. And now they are left scratching their heads. Scoot, I think he's going to be absolutely fine. Again, what do you guys think of Scoot Henderson? I know we've only seen him for a handful of games. Does the news have you worried? Does it freak you out a little bit? Chime in on the YouTube chat or, give us a call in 503-248-0620. But I myself not worried at all about the situation, especially with the young guy. You got to just take it. And okay, he's hurt. Let this bad boy heal. We'll get him on the court when we need to. No use in rushing this thing. Plenty of other things we can do. This also is one of those, maybe there's a silver lining to this. And maybe this is the fact that maybe they realized that they had something more than they thought they had in Skylar Mays, right? Because they were able to lock him up now for the rest of the year, converted that two-way deal. So he's going to be with the big boy squad for the rest of the season. And that's good. I mean, this guy, anytime you get a guy who signs a 10-day contract and then can eventually turn that into a full-time deal, that's pretty fun. That's something you root for, right? I mean, we saw it here just a few seasons ago with the Shack of Troutdale, Portland's own Drew Eubanks, right? Signing the 10-day deal at the end of the season, then signing another 10-day deal, and then he's the center sign in the offseason. So maybe they see that they have something in Skylar Mays as a depth play, and that's good. And I like that a lot. I think over the last few seasons, there's been a lot to be desired at point guard depth, right? Because the team just relied a little too much on staggering lineups and allowing their shooting guard, whether it be Ant or CJ, to slide into that backup point guard position and not have to worry about having the depth there in the long run, right? There was far too many Tim Quartermans, right? So you need that guy to give you that depth. So then when things like this happen, when two of your main three guards go down, you have a guy like Skylar Mays who can step up and give you productive minutes. And those minutes that he gave against the Sacramento Kings were absolutely productive. So can he do it again tonight? Give us some more productive minutes and have this team going, oh, okay, okay, this is nice because when Scoot comes back, now we got this guy right here that maybe he's not going to be relegated to the end of the bench. Maybe he's going to find a way to get into the lineup. And I think there's a lot of Blazer fans who would love that because, again, the Blazer fans I talk to tend to love the guy, And all you got to do is, it's not me. It's not like I'm being selective in the Blazer fans that I talk to. All you got to do is go on Twitter or Facebook, whatever social media app you like, and the people are loving them. Some Skylar Mays, which leads me to another question about loving Blazers that I'll ask in the next segment because we're going to spend some time on that one. And it revolves around a question that I posed on X just the other day about Trendon Watford and where he is on the Blazers list that you just fans just seem to love. Now, this is all still related, though, to Scoot Henderson right now. So Scoot out, Skylar Mays converted from a two-way deal to a full-time deal. He's going to be with the rest of the season. That opened up a spot for the Blazers because you can only have two-way players signed, and Skylar was one of them. Well, guess what? Now they had a spot open. That spot did not stay open too long, as it was also announced yesterday. The Trailblazers have signed Jamari Boyea. I hope I pronounced that somewhat close to what it's supposed to be. Jamari, I apologize if I missed it. We'll learn it in the long run. But the Blazers have signed him to a two-way deal. And that's, again, another guy who can come in there, get some minutes. Maybe he jumps up and down. And this is all this dynamic that the Blazers have right now, guys, because of having the Rip City remix. And this is why I was, for years, hoping that the team would get a G League affiliate that they could sign these two-way guys to, and they could send guys down, just like Chris Murray and Rayon Rupert, who were on the main roster in the game against Sacramento and then sent down to the remix, who opened up the season in Los Angeles against the South Bay Lakers and have been called back up for tonight's game. It just gives you a little bit of fluidity and that ability to develop your guys in the long run. So we'll see how Jamari Booyah is how it's said here in the phonetic pronunciation spelling there. So we'll see how he plays. Going to get most of his minutes at the G League. Guarantee you that. I don't see a spot for him in this roster, in this rotation right now. But it is nice, again, to have that fluidity and that ability to sign these guys and then have a place for them to go. You don't have to flip a coin and be like, okay, we're going to flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, he's going to go play for Dallas. If it lands on tails, he's going to go play for the Oklahoma City Blues. All right? Nope. He's going to go play at the Child Center over there on the bluff. He's going to rep the Rip City remix. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Blazers Game Day. Still plenty to get to. We still got to hear from Coach Billups. I think we're going to take the time to listen to Skylar Mays after that last game against Sacramento. He didn't know he was going to be signed for the rest of the season at that point, but we'll still take a chance to listen to him. And before it's all said and done, we will get scoreboard report and our keys to the game. Chris Burkhardt here, Blazers Game Day on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
It's time for a Blazers Game Day scoreboard report, powered by Columbia Heating and Cooling, raising your expectations of comfort.
All right, welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Time now to give you a little scoreboard report, get you caught up on the action around the league. First off, let's go to a couple games that have already been completed earlier today in Madison Square Garden. The Charlotte Hornets took the L, lost to the Knicks 129-107. Isaiah Quickly, 17 points, 9 assists to lead the Knicks. LaMelo Ball, 32.7 rebounds, 6 assists to lead the team in purple and teal. In Brooklyn, just across the river there, the Wizards fell 102-94 to the Nets. Bridges leading the way there with 27 points and 13 rebounds. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the Clippers and the losing streak continues. They fell to the Grizzlies, who now are 2-8 on the season, 105-101. Bane led the Grizzlies with 27 points, 6 assists. Paul George, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists for the Clippers, who continue their struggles. James Harden may not be the answer. Of course, he's not. Allen Iverson. All right, games going on right now. 6:30 left in the fourth. The 76ers 114. The Indiana Pacers 107. Tyrese Maxey 38 points and 3 blocks by Tyrese Halliburton. 31 points, 13 assists. Nice little battle going on there. Two teams that are standing out early in the Eastern Conference. Also, with about a minute left in the first half, Chicago has the 50-48 lead over the Pistons. Nikola Vucevic, 7 points and 8 rebounds. Alec Burks leading the way for the Pistons there with 12 points. A minute left in the first half in Houston. The Nuggets got the 49-43 lead with Nikola Jokic dropping 20 and 8 in the first half. 3:52 left in the second quarter. The Mavericks lead the Pelicans 58-45. Kyrie Irving has 17 points. Brandon Ingram leading the Pelicans with 11. And with a minute left in the first half, the Spurs have the 51-47 lead over the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo leading the Heat with 12 points. Keldon Johnson for the Spurs leading the way with 9 points and 6 rebounds. And yet to be played, tipping off about right now as we speak here, we got the Thunder taking on the Suns in Phoenix. At 5:30, you got Minnesota taking on the Warriors in Golden State. And, of course, the final game of the night, your Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, Chris Burkhardt here, filling in for the boss man, Chad Doing, on Blazers Game Day. And, of course, we're going to be here. We're live on YouTube now, so jump over there. Shout out to guys like Nick Thompson. Nick Thompson, that's right, I'm talking to you. He's our resident troll. He likes to ruffle feathers, but my goodness, this guy shows up for every single live stream. Doesn't matter what show we're doing, man. So he deserves like a Diamond Elite status. Like, we need to get our YouTube following like a Marriott or a Hilton, right? Like a hotel. Like if you watch 0 to 5, you're a general member. But once you watch 5 to 10 streams, that's right. Then you're a Rip City Radio Gold member. Work your way all the way up to Titanium Elite Ambassador or whatever the heck you want to call it. Have a little fun with that. But jump over there in the comments. Tell us how you're feeling about the game tonight. And we will get to the Blazers Lakers here in just a moment as we continue to prep you for the evening. But I did say I had a quick question and that we would also hear from Skylar Mays. So to Michael Shacker back in the home studio, make sure that host PC's turned on because I'm going to play some audio here in just a second. But that's called like on-air producing, right? Isn't that what that's called? That's what I'm told. But here's the question I said I had for you, okay? And that was that everyone loves Skylar Mays, right? Like that's what I'm hearing when I talk to fans, when I look at social media. People like the guy. And just the other day, it was another guy that Blazer fans tend to love, and that was Trendon Watford. And I posed the question on X, like, where does this man stand on the all-time list of wasn't a Blazer for long, wasn't a megastar, right? But Blazer fans will love him till the end of time. Because I think Trendon Watford might be pretty high on that list. Blazer fans love that man. Most of the time, the talk is, why did the Blazers get rid of him? I mean, that's the talk right now. Blazer fans love that man. Like, he's right up there with like Ed Davis, right? Like, Ed Davis is universally loved by Blazer fans. Shirt off Ed, if you remember, right? Travi wants to know, does he hit Josh Hart level love? Like, okay, there's a name. Is Josh Hart high on that list too? I do think Blazer fans do love their Josh Hart, right? Another name I heard thrown out when this one came up by a fan was T Rob was high on that list for some people. I mean, when it comes to being an all-time energy guy, T Rob deserves to be up there. But yeah, you got like the Ed Davises of the world, right? Man, who else? Well, I don't know what the caveat or what wasn't here for a short time wasn't a star. Like, how long was Joel Prisbilla actually a Blazer, right? I mean, he was here for a few years, of course, but he was your starting center, but he wasn't. I mean, Joel Prisbilla wasn't like an all-star center type, right? But he's universally loved. Blazer fans love Joel Prisbilla, love the man. He was here for much longer than the 2 seasons of Watford was, though. He was here for 8, so he doesn't completely fall under that rule, but he's a guy that people just universally loved. So what have you? If you guys got Blazers that you love to talk about that you're universally loved, no matter how long they were a Blazer, chime off, sound off. Chime off, is that even a saying? Sound off, chime in the YouTube chat. Call us 503-248-0620. But again, this all got me thinking because I was talking about Trendon Watford and, of course, Skylar Mays, who's now going to be on the team for at least the rest of the season because this two-way contract was converted. He has turned into quite the lovable player at the moment. And the Blazers, they did lose in Sacramento just a few games ago. But Skylar had a pretty good performance, and he got the chance to talk to the media after the game.
Seriously, Sky, you come in. We were talking, one of the few guards who played the full game tonight. What was going through your mind down the stretch?
Well, I always just try to be ready to go. Obviously, we wish Malcolm was out there playing. You know, we would have loved to have him out there. But, you know, I just tried to fill in and do what I do, you know, try to make guys better and make plays.
I don't want to say how much does this one hurt, but you guys were truly in it the entire game, back and forth, and you just really left it all out there. What was the feeling right after it ended?
Well, it does hurt. You know, we want to win. We want to win. We scrapped. We competed really hard, but, you know, we got to close games. We would like to execute at the end of the games, but, you know, I love our fight. You know, I think we've got a lot to learn from this game, but there are a lot of positives we can take.
How do you feel about your shot at the end of the regular season?
I liked it. You know, I'm confident in my game. I work hard. I want to make it, but sometimes it doesn't fall. But, you know, we gave our chance to win it in overtime. You know, we would have liked to be on top, but it didn't work out. So we just got to, you know, turn our head to the next one. Got a little break, got a couple days to regroup and figure it out, get ready for the Lakers.
I know it's kind of cliche to say next man up, but this is kind of how this team is right now. And how much confidence do you have in them still?
Yeah, that's how it is. You know, I think guys like Chris came in, and, you know, Tamani has always been consistent. Moses came in, gave us good minutes. So, you know, we're going to need them to step up for, you know, however long. And, you know, just stay competitive, which is definitely bred through our team.
All right, there you have it. That was Skylar Mays. And as Brooke alluded to there, I mean, next man up is definitely what they're dealing with right now, because the reason he got so many minutes, I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, hamstring tightness, and now you need the next guy to step up, and Skylar was that next guy, and he's definitely played his way into earning that spot for the rest of the season, which, again, you love to see. So all things considered, again, that's why I loved that game against Sacramento. I thought we saw a lot of stuff from this team that I think you could consider building blocks, right? They're playing defensively. They're playing with a lot of heart, a lot of effort, a lot of hustle. And of course, not a lack of confidence either. Skylar definitely had the quick on the trigger. He was happy to be out there taking his shot, shoot, right? And he's definitely a shooter trying to get going. But he'll be on the floor tonight. How much he plays or if he starts, whatever, is going to, again, remain to be seen. We'll get those announcements later. But we do know who won't be playing. Of course, you're a Blazer fans, you're well aware of what the situation here is. Of course, the team announced yesterday Malcolm Brogdon, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Robert Williams all out, and Ish Wainwright still questionable. So maybe, perhaps, he makes his Blazer debut tonight. We haven't seen him yet. We'll see there. But for the Lakers, the big news is that LeBron James has been ruled out with a left calf contusion, which did crack me up because I saw people tweeting that, oh man, the history of LeBron dodging the Blazers continues. And I just had to laugh at that. I don't think LeBron tries to dodge anybody because he's LeBron James and he's really good. And with him out, it's going to be really, really tough. What the Blazers are going to have to do tonight. I mean, they're going to have to deal with Anthony Davis, and that is a tall task. Of course, how many minutes does he play? Does he stay healthy for all the minutes that he's available? You never know. But the Blazers are going to have a tall task there. This might be the type of game, and of course, we'll get through it as we get to our keys to the game and what have you. But this might be the type of game where you see and need the most out of DeAndre Ayton, right? Because DeAndre Ayton, he's had his up and down. He's still trying to find his footing here, but he's a 20 and 10 type guy. And he's the only guy on this roster who's going to be able to, body up Anthony Davis down low. I mean, Jeremy Grant's not going to do it, right? Maybe you get that late game call up and you're like, hey, we need to breathe. We need him here now, since he lit up the G League the other night. But we'll see. And Rachel says she thought she read Anthony Davis was out tonight. Maybe that's the case. I'll look. Last I've checked, I haven't seen it. I do see that LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt are out, and Jackson Hayes game time decision. So we'll see on those. But even so, we'll see. We're going to talk like he is, and we'll get our updates during commercial breaks and all that as they come across. But if Davis is on the floor, that's a whole new dynamic for the Blazers. I don't know. Are you excited to be taking on Anthony Davis? I mean, come on. Who likes to play against Anthony Davis? He gets a bad rap because he's made of glass at times. But man, when the guy's playing and he's healthy and he's on the floor, he's absolutely incredible. He's incredible. And so the Blazers are going to have to bring their A game. And this is the type of game that maybe that youthful, that life that they show, their ability to just go ham, they can go all out all the time. Maybe you can outrun the old legs that the Lakers are throwing out there. Maybe that's our keys to victory as we get to those here a little bit later in the day. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Game Day. When we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Chauncey Billups. I still have to give you my cold, hard facts of the game, brought to you by Coors Light. And, of course, our keys to the game. All coming up right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back in to Blazers Game Day, and it's hard to want to start the segment when Shacker picks a song like Albatross. You just want to kind of let it roll, let Pepper Keenan do his thing, man. It's pretty nice. All right, we're getting a lot of questions on the chat as well as on Twitter. Not necessarily sent to me, just questions being asked on Twitter. Is Wreath available tonight? And that's an interesting question because I have not seen official word as to whether or not the Blazers called him up or not. Remember, he is playing there with the Rip City remix. So I'll be on the lookout for that. If you guys happen to know or have seen it, point me in the right direction, chime into the chat. But I'll continue to do my legwork here to figure that out. But let me tell you what, did he have a good game? Did he have a good game for the G League's affiliate now, the new branded Rip City remix? Yes, he had a great game. Now, the Blazers G League team now, they went out there. They had a heck of a game in their first, in I guess not their first. Reword this, Burkhardt. Their inaugural game, right? The very first one in franchise history. It was against the South Bay Lakers. They won that game 133-105. And yeah, Duop 37-10-2. He was lighting it up. I mean, I think it was 5 of 6 from deep in that game. Like the big man was shooting threes. So yeah, there might be a spot for him, especially with Robert Williams out. Now, again, back to our original kind of topic of the day, like who are Blazers who didn't play a lot or weren't stars or weren't here long that you loved? If you play games like that and then you come up and you'd make the most of your minutes because there's some injuries, Wreath might end up getting pretty high on the Blazer fan love list as well, right? So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. I will definitely watch here, and if I see an update, I will let you know. Now, I did say I want to take the time to listen to Coach Billups after the game in Sacramento. And yes, again, it was a tough matchup. Blazers lost the game 121-118, but I think he saw a lot of things from this young team that he liked. So let's take a listen.
Cliche as it sounds, it's apropos for tonight. I mean, you guys literally left it all out on the floor. What can you say about that performance?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of us. Shit, we did all we could. We left it out there, and Malcolm went down. That obviously hurt us. And we played a lot of people a lot of minutes, and they used to playing, but they kept going, kept going, kept going, and we had our chances. We had our chances. And there's some games that it just happens in a season. There's some games that you win that you probably shouldn't have won. There's some games that you lose that you probably should have won, and this is one of those games. We felt like we should have won the game, but just didn't have enough. But we had our chances.
Obviously, we don't know the future of Malcolm the next few games, but Skylar, what would you say about the way he stepped in and just kind of led the team?
Yeah, Sky was incredible. He really was. He's ever since we got him on a 10-day last year. I just love the way he plays. He plays. He got smarts. He's very crafty. He's a big shot maker. He's just tough, a heady player. He gave us all he had. I mean, he goes from barely playing to 37 minutes in this game, in an up and down type of game. So I was proud of Sky. He played amazing.
Coach, how do you feel about your late game execution, both at the end of regulation and at the end of overtime? I imagine in some respects you maybe like to get a better shot, but also you're up against it a little bit personnel wise.
Yeah, I was happy with what we was able to do. Of course, I would have loved a better shot at the end of the regulation, but I thought we got some great looks at the end of overtime. To tie it. But again, you got guys in those situations that they usually are never in the game at that time. Of the game. So everybody that was in there did an incredible job, man. They gave us a chance in this game, and I got no complaints at all whatsoever about what happened in this game.
We've asked you a lot about Jeremy recently, just about kind of the role that he's playing and kind of having to extend himself. Tonight, obviously, a phenomenal performance keeps you guys in this game and almost won it for you.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Jeremy was there on both sides of the ball too. We depended on him to really guard a lot of their players tonight. He had to guard Herter some. He had to guard Harrison's son, Keegan. I mean, he put him on everybody. It's a bonus at the end. So, and then you have to play through him, you know. So you try not to wear him out too much and have to throw him the ball every time. But we was just very short in numbers, man, you know, and he always steps up, you know, to the plate.
Coach, Mama Yaskin, you did play Chris a few minutes in the first half. I know he only played a couple games this season. And he got a chance, to play against his brother. What was the thought process going in there? Just let him get a feel of the game, or just the fact that he was going to get a chance to play against his twin brother?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got guys that just, we're so injured, and Chris is a guy that, we believe in, and we have high hopes for him and our future here, and it was just his turn, and it just so happened that he was playing obviously against his brother, so of course I'm a coach that got a heart, and I wanted that to be a special moment for him and his family. So getting him out there, and he played some positive minutes for us, which he always will, because he's a smart and good player like that. But it was good to see him get out there and get some minutes, in this game, and I'm sure, he'll be playing a lot more throughout the rest of the season, I'm sure.
Just one more for you, Coach. Could you talk about the effort of DeAndre tonight, particularly in that fourth quarter? Hit a couple huge jumpers for you guys.
Yeah.
It seems like when you're able to get the ball to him, he was able to do something with it tonight.
Yeah, I thought DA was good all night. I mean, he had a tough job, with Sabonis the whole time, and Sabonis is really the hub of their offense, and, you got to be on a swivel out there when you're playing against him, and I thought DA did a really good job against him today. And then he had to, we're still trying to find ways to best use him and get him the ball in that pocket where he's really, really good at. And he made some really, really big shots and big plays for us.
All right, there you have it. That was Coach Chauncey Billups after the game. I got to admit, I do love I'm a coach with a heart, and that's why he played Chris Murray, got him on the floor against his brother, which is pretty cool. Again, I think that's one of those things you like to see. I mean, I got to remember Chris and Keegan on the same high school team, then went and played on the same college team. Very used to playing with each other, not against each other. So you like to see that. You like that Chauncey gave him the chance there. So shout out to Coach. And again, Chris, I think he said Chris has a future with the team. And I think he's right. I really like the game he brings. But that is why the Rip City Remix are kind of pivotal right now. Because for Chris to get on the floor right now, it's hard. You got a lot of guys. You're playing Jeremy, right? You're playing Tease, as Coach puts it. And then Tamani came out of nowhere and is earning those minutes as well. And so that takes away from Chris a little bit. So you got to find a place to get him in. And right now that place is with the Rip City Remix. Excuse me. Which is pretty cool because once they come back home, that means Blazer fans are going to get a chance, maybe to get over there and see games with Chris, see games with Rupert. And this was a perfect type of situation, too, because the Blazers want him on the roster. Should something happen, they can throw the guy out there. But when you have multiple days in between games, you're already in Los Angeles, it's just really easy. Like, oh, look, our G League team's here. Send him over there. Everybody knows what to do. Here we go. Let's roll. Let's get that development in. And you just hope that he continues to get it going quickly because he is a older rookie, just like Tumani is. And Tumani has taken advantage of that by just rolling right out of the gates pretty strong, especially on the defensive end. So you would hope that Chris can kind of find that same footing and get going as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Blazer Game Day. When we come back, it is time for me to give you my cold, hard facts when it comes to the Blazers. What are they? I don't know. I have like 2.5 minutes to figure it out. So you stay tuned, see what I muster up. Chris Burkhardt here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here, filling in for Chad Doing. But for those of you who miss his beautiful Blazery voice, don't worry, he'll be on right after I will. He's filling in and going to be doing the Blazer pregame show right here on Rip City Radio 620 as well. So you're going to get Burkhardt followed by Doing. That was my best Brian No. That was my impersonation of Brian No, dropping a Doing. Then the Blazer game. Chad will be on the post-game show, and then I'll be right back here with the fifth quarter. But it is now time for those Coors Cold Hard Facts. Fact number one, and this one is pretty easy, but that fact is that Shacker, make sure you fix that screen. You popped it on wrong. The fact is Skylar Mays, he's legit. He's legit. And I don't mean legit in he's going to be a star, legit. He's going to be full-on rotation player for the rest of his career. But I mean, right now, for what this team needs and what he needs to do, he is playing a legit brand of basketball. And it has earned him the addition to the roster. The fact that that two-way deal has now been converted for the rest of the year. And you love to see it because that's the type of guy he's hustling. He's out there earning his keep, earning these minutes, earning that contract. Absolutely love to see it. Another fun fact for you, and I got to shout out the YouTube chat. Okay, this is why you need to tune into YouTube, all right? Because I think Shacker is he goes, oh, you're gonna call me out live on the chat. Well, on YouTube, I'm just gonna throw pictures of the dog up there now, show you who's boss. He has all the power. By the way, that was Dino right there. Not to be confused with the wrestler Dino Bravo, but shout out Michael Shacker. Join us on YouTube. But fact number two, and this was thrown out by some of our chatters here as well. So I'm not stealing them from you, Brandon. You just helped because you're right on point with some of the things I was thinking about. But I think the one point here, man, is that yes, the offense is bad. It's going to take its lumps. That's my word of the year, right? But you also got to remember how good is the offense going to be when A, you lost Damian Lillard and his prolific scoring. B, you lost your best shooter and your best catch and shoot guy in Ant, and you got a bunch of other guys just trying to figure out what to do. And the guys who are on the floor too, keep in mind, Matisse Thybulle, not an offensive juggernaut. Toumani Camara, not an offensive juggernaut. So the offense is going to take lumps. But because of that and because of the roster that you have out here, the defense is improving, and that is huge. Because that is what Blazer fans have wanted for the longest time right now. Show us some defense, man. Get out there. Just play defense. Why can't the Blazers play defense? Everyone scores on the Blazers. Like, it's just so easy. They're playing defense. I mentioned this to Chad the other day. When I was watching the game, I was like, you know what's really crazy? Is when you look up on the screen and you're like, wow, the Blazers have size all of a sudden. Like, is that really a Blazer uniform? Like, let me put these back on real quick. Let me check. And you put your glasses on. You're like, oh man, that is indeed a Blazer uniform that guy who is taller than 6'2" is wearing. That is amazing. So it's coming around, and I love to see that. Again, in a season where it's going to be rough, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. It's going to be a roller coaster at times. All you can hope for is to see those little incremental improvements. And I think defensively is where they're showing the most right now. That's where they're showing the most. And again, a lot of that is just the fact that you got Matisse Thybulle who can guard multiple positions. You got DeAndre Ayton now, who's a much more agile center than Yusuf Nurkic, right? He moves laterally quite well. He obviously can body people up. And then you have Toumani Camara, who I think has been a major, major bright spot for this team. Because you're like, wow, this guy came out of nowhere and he's playing hard on the defensive side of the ball. And the thing is, defense is the one thing that you either have it or you don't, okay? Now, you can improve a little bit defensively throughout your career, but no one goes from, nobody on defense to, oh my gosh, all of a sudden that guy is first team all league defense. Like, that just doesn't happen. And part of the reason is you can't just walk into a gym and practice defense, right? But a bad shooter over time can become a very, very good shooter. Because the only thing you need to do to practice your shooting is you and a basketball. That's all you need. That's all you need. So you walk into a gym, you grab your basketball, and you heck, bring the whole rack out there. Have all 10, 20 of them, however many that rack holds. Shoot. You're in one of these NBA gyms where they got the big old apparatus that shoots, comes in, and then passes it right back out to you. So you don't even need a coach there or a buddy to catch your rebounds, right? You shoot, catch the pass in the pocket, shoot, catch a pass in the pocket, repeat, repeat, repeat. That's how guys like Nasir Little, who entered the league with a pretty poor jump shot, became a pretty good shooter last year, right? That's how guys like Lonzo Ball and his, by all accounts, busted shooting form turns into a pretty good shooter. Those things are nice. But what do you do when you come in by yourself and you're like, I'm gonna practice defense. So you slide, you widen your base and you put your arms out and you're like, I think this is how I would stop someone if they were running at me. You can't practice it by yourself. So you either have it or you don't. So when you're a guy like Toumani Camara who comes in and you're showing that you're already good on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's only upwards from there. It's only one trajectory you can go. And I like that. I absolutely like that. All right, now, don't think I didn't notice the YouTube chat going on. So thank you to you guys who are sending me a little bit of love. You're enjoying my ability to fill in, and you like listening to me. That makes me happy. Maui, someone said Maui. I don't know if you're referencing the fact that I'm wearing my Maui shirt to support Maui after the wildfires, or the fact that I've been picked on in the fifth quarters for the man bun. All right, but I come by it honestly. And when the man bun's not in, the hair is flowing to the point that at my other job, there are some people there who just call me Maui. That is just my name because I look like Maui from Moana. When you match that with the island tattoo, it all makes sense. But to Nick and Devin and everyone else who was saying some kind words, thank you very much. It means a lot. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. But those are some of my hard facts for the day. Your coolest hard facts. And the fact is, they're not really that hard. They're easy to swallow because you're like, okay, that's good. I like what's going on. I like the fact that this team is at least showing something, right? For the longest time, you guys have seen the meme, right? The drawing with the stick, and it's like, do something, poking it. And you saw it fly over social media forever with just that Blazer logo right there instead. Do something. Do something. They're doing something. They're showing life. And they're doing a lot of the things that we've asked for a while. And is it, again, world beating? No. Like, is their defense the best in the league? No. Is it going to be? No. But they're showing improvement on that end. And that you just got to love. You absolutely got to love it. What say you? You guys got any other facts you want to point out there? Brandon threw out a bunch of them, so thank you for interacting there. And again, if you want to jump in on the chat, got plenty of people popping off in the chat right now on YouTube. Great space to get you ready for game day. Jump over there. Go to youtube.com/Rip City Radio. Of course, you want to call in 503-248-0620. You can do that as well. But again, let's look real quick, though, because this is the main reason we're all here tonight. And that is the matchup tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. As Chad would say, you talk about filling in. One thing you got to do when you fill in is you got to do proper by the host. So Chad would be like, later tonight, the Blazers are going to play down in Los Angeles, right? That's how he would do it, right? So the Blazers are going to take on the Lakers at 7 o'clock here on Rip City Radio 620. No Brogdon, no Ant, no Scoot. The list goes on, right? But these baby Blazers are still playing a fun brand of basketball. The Lakers will be without LeBron James. That's always big. But, of course, this game's going to come down to Anthony Davis, and can they bottle him up? Him out there averaging, hey, look at me. I'm Anthony Davis. I'm just averaging a measly 12 rebounds per game. No big deal. Of course, you got D'Angelo Russell, who can go out there and score as well. Maybe this is Austin Reeves. Got to be aware of him, too. He can shoot the ball as well. But, of course, they've been messing with their lineup over the last few games because they're not playing as well as they want to either. I think they're still trying to figure out what the heck they want to be in the long run. At least the Blazers, I feel, the difference between the Lakers and the Blazers right now, like the Lakers have those playoff aspirations, but do you know who the Lakers are? Like, do you know going into this game, the type of game that you're going to get playing the Lakers? I think the answer is no. You don't know if they're going to be a team that's going to hit you defensively or they're going to hit you offensively. Without LeBron, who's going to be the main guy running it? Like, you just don't know. The identity is lost. When the identity is lost for a team with the talent, then you get a 4-5 record out of the gate. Look at the Clippers. Same thing. They are struggling mightily. And they have a very good coach. Like, Ty Lue is a good coach. But Paul George playing with Kawhi Leonard, playing with Russell Westbrook, playing with James Harden now. Do you know what you're getting when you're playing the Clippers? You don't. Do you know what you're getting when you're playing the 8-1 Nuggets? Yes. Yes, you know you're getting the best player on the planet in Nikola Jokic. You know you're getting one of the more underrated point guards who's going to be able to score in bunches in Jamal Murray, right? You know that Porter Jr. is going to be able to bring it. You know that Aaron Gordon might be the unsung hero of that team. Like, you know that identity. They're going to play fast. They're going to play hard. And you're going to have to keep your head on a swivel to know where the ball is at all times. Do you know what you're getting when you play the Blazers right now? You do. A team full of young guys whose offense is going to be hit or miss, but defensively, they're going to be giving you all-out effort, and they're going to make you work. Got a bunch of young guys who are hungry. So, again, the record might not be what you want it to be, but having an identity, I think, is pretty darn nice, if I do say so myself. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, it is time for me to hand out my keys to the game, and hopefully everyone's listening because I'm saying them. They're the keys. All you got to do is win. It's simple. So simple. Jimi Hendrix is going to take us out here. Chris Burkhardt, Blazers Game Day on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, welcome back into Blazers Game Day. And before we get to the keys to the game, actually, know what? Scratch that. Go back. Key to the game. It is simple. The key to this game, my friends, stay healthy. Stay healthy. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. The win, the loss, the W, the L in the record column, that is of little importance. Right now, just stay healthy. Just stay healthy. You don't want to have to go get another two-way guy to come in here, call up all the G League guys because everyone's hurt. Because right now the injuries, they are up, piling up. And you don't want to see that. All right. That is the key. That's the key. Now, realistically, if you want to get the W tonight outside of just staying healthy, then you're going to need to find a way to bottle up Anthony Davis. The Blazers are going to have to be uber aggressive on the boards. I think this may be the type of game where you obviously you have Jeremy Grant, but maybe you move him outside of the paint a little bit and let a guy like Kamara or Jabari Walker get in there, muck it up in the paint, and get some more rebounds because you're going to have to put bodies on him, going to have to win the battles on the glass. Also, hugely, hugely important for DeAndre Ayton in this one to get going as well. He's averaging almost 13 rebounds per game. Anthony Davis averaging 12. Those two are going to be battling it out on those boards all night long. And if you give the Lakers easy second chance points, I think they'll start to just whittle away. And before you know it, they'll be out to a big lead. So that's going to be the keys for me. Now, there is some good news that we do have to report. Okay. I was asked in the chat about Ish Wainwright. I said I'd look for some info. Didn't find any updates on him as of yet, except the fact that he was questionable for tonight. However, there are some roster updates that I do think some of you, especially the ones who have asked about it in the chat multiple times, are going to like. And that is according to Casey Holdall just a few minutes ago. Duop Reith is with the Blazers and available to play in tonight's game in Los Angeles. And remember, Reith had a heck of a debut game for the Rip City Remix in their inaugural matchup, putting up 30 plus, hitting a couple 3-pointers, blocking some shots. Had every Blazer fan going, yeah, can we give him some rotation minutes? Now, I don't think Reith was expected to get rotation minutes in the long run, which is why, hey, G League team, get him down there. But that injury to Robert Williams opened that door wide up. It's there, okay? So when when opportunity knocks, right, you gotta make sure you open the door, right? Well, don't just open the door, rip that thing off the hinges, run through it. This is Duop's time to take advantage of the situation. Also, Jamari Booyah, of course, I think I'm saying it right now. He is with the Blazers. He did sign that 2-way contract. He is with the team and also available to play tonight in Los Angeles. Do I think he hits the floor? Probably not. If they end up going that deep, that's might not be a great sign for the overall situation of the game and when it comes to the win or the loss. But regardless, they have that body and they're ready to go. So no update on if Wainwright is truly fully a go. But I think as the YouTube chat is asserting, I think Blazer fans love the idea that they might get to see Duop Reith battle it out there in Los Angeles tonight. So what else? What else do you guys think? You got some keys to the game? Chime off in the YouTube chat if you haven't already or just listening in your car. When you get home, grab your phone, grab your computer, whatever you use to get up on YouTube, go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, get those notifications. Get those notifications. Every single day we go live. Because again, Game Day's live, 5th quarter, Rip City Drive, Rip City Morning, Courtside Mondays. Everything going to be live here on YouTube, giving you guys more content and more ways for you to tune in to the show. The Rip City Radio account even chimes in. The key to the game is BLA. BLA. Was there ever a chant from a fan base that you can just like close your eyes and hear? Like someone typing out the words BLA. I can close my eyes. Imagine I'm in the Rose Garden. That's right. I'm going to say it for you. I'm in the Rose Garden. I can just hear BLA, BLA, BLA. Sometimes you can just type out something and hear it. That's one of them. Pictures you can hear type thing. Text you can hear as the BLA chants start chiming in on the YouTube chat. But it's going to be another one of those games, my friends, where even in a loss, you just want to see the exact same effort from this team that you saw in Sacramento, right? The fight, the going out there, giving it your all, forcing OT if you have to, letting everybody cook, right? understanding that Skylar Mays, he was on a 2-way contract that day. He might not have a spot here. You don't know, but you're like, hey, you're our brother. You're on the court with us. Let's go get him. Trusting every single player to make the plays that you need. And Skylar did it. And speaking of Skylar, with Brogdon out and everyone else injured, another update from Casey Holdall is that Skylar Mays will be starting at point guard tonight. So you're starting 5 for tonight's game. Skylar Mays, Shaden Sharp, Matisse Thybulle, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. And now I fully expect now, just because of the size that the Lakers have with Anthony Davis and everything else, yeah, if Ayton is doing a good job and he needs his rest, I think you're going to get to see some Duop. You're going to get to see some Reith, baby. Hopefully he continues that big performance that he had in Los Angeles in the South Bay just a few days ago with the Rip City remix. What else we got? Travis says he wants to see I want to see pressure around the perimeter. They need to force people to deal with DA. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying there too. That's good. No open shots, no easy looks. Grant needs to be locked in for the Blazers to win. Hey, give me the Grant that you gave us in Sacramento every single day, and I'll be a happy camper. Everyone who listens to me knows that I am a Jeremy Grant believer, and that was a great game. All right, that music means it is time to go. Shout out to Michael Shacker for knowing I like to end this show with Seven Nation Army, Pavlov's Dog 'em. Get them ready for the pregame show with my man, Chad Doing, coming at you right now. And, of course, when this game wraps up, don't go anywhere. The postgame show with Chad Doing, followed immediately by me right here on the 5th quarter on Rip City Radio and YouTube. Go subscribe. See you after the game. Show me your Blazer.